Welcome to this 90-minute yin yoga practice. We'll begin with soles of the feet together, knees apart, arms by your sides, or maybe resting overhead. This practice is designed to support you in recovering from burnout, to replenish your energy. And this session requires no props, just your presence and a willingness to surrender into the stillness. Maybe you've got to this place of needing this practice from pushing, striving a little too hard, being a bit too busy. So I invite you to come into this stillness, to fill your own cup, focus on your own self-care, finding a place of rest. Shifting your awareness to the face for a moment. See if you can find softness, releasing the facial muscles, and finding a comfortable pace of breath where you can comfortably inhale and exhale through the nose, allowing the breath to come and go with ease, allowing the breath to carry you deeper into the posture. And I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Beginning to deepen the breath here, preparing for movement. As you're ready, I invite you to bring those hands down to either side of the legs, And gently bringing those legs back up, feet to either side of the mat, and windshield wiping the knees side to side. Letting that go, finding ease in the movement, and gently extending that right leg long on the mat, left knee into the chest, and creating some small circles here with that left knee. Notice the sensation in your hip as you do this. Maybe feeling a small release through the low back. And as you exhale, twisting over to the right, looking over the left shoulder, arm at shoulder height, and allowing those legs to release. Breathing into the twist along the spine, chest open. Feeling the back of the head supported by the mat. As you settle here, know that you're not just stretching the muscles or softening tension. You're communicating with the nervous system. We spend so much of our lives in that fight or flight response, constantly scanning, doing, trying to keep up. But here in stillness, you're giving your body permission to shift into the parasympathetic state, that rest and digest, or restore and repair state. In this state, the heart rate slows down, your digestion improves, the breath deepens, and your body finally has a chance to heal, to get that deep rest. You don't have to force this. It happens naturally when you feel safe, still, and supported. And by showing up here on your mat, you're already rewiring your system for calm, to restore your energy in your body. On an inhale, looking back to the sky, and slowly bringing that leg back across the body, hugging both knees into the chest. Taking a breath here, maybe taking a gentle rock side to side, releasing the back body. Extending left leg long on the mat, hugging that right knee into the chest, and then creating those small circles with the right knee, opening up through the hip. Notice the sensation here and through the low back. On your next exhale, crossing that knee over to the left, looking over the right shoulder, breathing into the side body, relaxing both shoulders into the mat, relaxing the feet, allowing the breath to come and go, finding that comfortable breath in and out through the nose. On an inhale, coming back through center. Gently hugging both knees into the chest. Taking a breath here, maybe rocking side to side. Bringing hands behind the thighs and begin to rock forwards and back, making your way up and finding yourself in all fours. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Stepping that right foot to the outside of the hand, untucking the back toes, and either staying up here, releasing the head and neck, keeping the rest of the spine long. Maybe opening up that right foot like a book. Maybe coming down to the forearms if that feels right. If there's any pressure on that back knee, readjusting your stance. Finding a place where the breath comes and goes with ease. Allowing it to carry you through this posture as you find your edge. That space where you feel sensation without risking injury or pushing too far. Finding yourself back on the palms, head and neck coming up, closing that foot, and then tucking back toes under as you bring the legs back here, taking a moment to notice that sensation. As you exhale, bending elbows into your sides, lowering down to your belly, untucking the toes. Bending that right knee into the side body, opening the hip, Left hand to your side, pressing into the palm to lift the chest and threading right arm underneath the body. Comfortably resting on the side of the face, resting that left arm. Once again, finding that space, that edge, where you're feeling sensation without tensing, pushing. Finding yourself in this space to completely relax the muscles so the benefits can get into the connective tissue and joints. If you find yourself fidgeting, moving around here, maybe coming out of this posture, maybe focusing on either the upper body or the lower body. Breathing deeply in and out through the nose in this meditative practice. I invite you to draw that left hand back in by the side of the face, pressing into the palm as you come to your forearms, chest lifted, and then releasing that right leg back behind you, pressing into both palms to come back to all fours, stepping left foot to the outside of the hand, finding your stance, and then maybe staying up on the palms, maybe to the forearms, maybe opening up that foot like a book, keeping the spine long, completely resting head and neck down, unclenching the jaw. On your next inhale, coming back to the hands if you're not already there, lifting the head and neck up, closing that foot, and then carefully bringing that leg back behind you, bending the knees. Inhale as you slide forward and exhale, slowly lowering down to your belly. This time, bending that left knee into the side of the body, pressing into the right palm as you slide the left arm under the right palm facing up, resting the side of the face and the cheek on the mat, bending that right elbow, and finding that space where you feel completely supported here, feeling as if your face is cradled by the mat. Breathing deeply in and out through the nose as you hold this posture. Sliding right arm by the side of the face, pressing into the palm as you find yourself back on your forearms, lifting the chest, taking a breath here, and releasing that left leg back behind you. As you're ready, pressing into the hands and coming all the way up and finding yourself seated, legs extended in front of you, releasing any fleshy bits from your sides, hands coming behind you, and then shaking out those legs, maybe swaying the feet side to side, taking a moment here, finding relief through the legs, hands coming behind the thighs on an inhale, finding length, and as you exhale, walking hands down the length of the legs, rounding through the back body. And once again, finding that position where you're allowing yourself to soften into the pose without pushing or pulling, straining. finding that sense of softness. Unclenching the jaw, relaxing the eyes, relaxing the shoulders down the back, and coming back to the breath to carry you through this posture. On your next inhale, begin to transition slowly out of this posture, honoring your body's pace. And as you come up, bringing the hands behind you, and then maybe rocking the feet side to side, or maybe pointing and flexing the toes, maybe resting the head and neck back. Taking a breath here, soaking it in. Notice how you're feeling in the body. Maybe circling the ankles. As you're ready, bringing the head and neck back up and finding yourself facing lengthways on your mat, extending the legs out wide. And then as you're ready, bending that right knee, sole of the foot to the left inner thigh, arms out to shoulder height. On an inhale, leaning to that right side, and exhale, folding over to the left. With that top hand, bring it around to the back body to completely relax that shoulder away from the ear. Relaxing the head and neck completely, feeling a stretch through the side of the neck, the side body, all the way down to the right hip. Notice if there's any tendency to collapse through the chest, rolling that right shoulder onto the back. And we'll hold this for a shorter amount of time. So focusing on that sensation as you allow the breath to lead the way. On an exhale, folding forward over that extended leg, hands and arms on either side of the legs, relaxing head and neck down completely. Maybe notice any echoes through the body of the previous pose as you settle into this new posture. Taking a moment in stillness to observe any sensation arising. On an inhale, begin to walk those hands back into the body. Head and neck can be up last. And then facing center, extending both legs out long. And then bending the left knee, sole of the foot to the right inner thigh. Arms out at shoulder height. As you inhale, going over to the left, and exhale, bending to the right. Top arm wrapping around the back body to lift the chest, shoulder blade on the back of the body. Completely resting head and neck down. Feeling that stretch through the side of the neck, all the way through the side body, down to the left hip. Unclenching the jaw, finding softness, stillness. On your next exhale, gently releasing the posture as you move with care and awareness as you fold towards that extended leg. Hands and arms coming to either side of the leg, forehead relaxing towards the knee. Breathing into the back of the body. On an inhale, begin to walk those hands back into the body, head and neck coming up last. And then coming to face forward, extending both legs out to your sides. Finding a posture where you feel that edge, that place of sensation without too much strain or pain. So maybe staying upright, or as you exhale, begin to fold forward. Maybe arms resting where they fall, or maybe extending them forward. And notice that when we're exhausted, it's easy to ignore the body's messages or to power through them. But your body speaks in sensations. So in this moment, I invite you to listen, noticing where are you gripping, where are you softening, what's asking to be seen or soothed. Because burnout isn't just about doing too much. It's about disconnecting from those internal messages that we learn to ignore. And this shape invites you to come home to those signals, not to fix them, but to feel them, making adjustments as necessary. Allowing the breath to carry you into, through this posture, knowing that I'll be here to guide you back when it's time. On your next inhale, slowly begin to walk those hands back into the body. And as the hands come in, head and neck can be blessed. Using those hands to gently bend the knees, planting those feet, hands behind you, and finding a gentle windshield wiper side to side, moving as fast or as slow as feels good for you. As you're ready, coming back to all fours. And then bringing right knee towards the right wrist, laying the shin across the mat, adjusting it here if you need to. And extending the opposite leg behind you, untucking the toes. On an exhale, finding your sleeping swan. Resting forehead on stacked arms, or maybe on the mat. As you hold this shape, you may notice sensations changing, sometimes shifting, sometimes intensifying. And that's the fascia, that connective tissue that wraps around the muscles, slowly beginning to release. Fascia holds more than just tension. It stores patterns, postures, even emotional memory. You don't need to analyze it. Just staying present with it. If something stirs up, let it move through. You might feel warmth or even a sense of emotional release. Trust that part of the body, that it knows exactly how to let go in its own way, in its own time. Finding yourself here on the mat. As you're ready, transitioning out of this posture by walking the hands back in towards the body, honoring your natural pace here, taking as long as you need. As you're ready, coming to find all fours. For a moment here, taking any movement that feels good in your body, maybe wagging the tail, the hips side to side. Whenever you're ready, transitioning to the opposite side, left knee towards left wrist, adjusting that front leg, extending the back leg behind you, untucking the toes, taking a breath here, and as you exhale, folding forward, resting the upper body, shoulders relaxed down away from the ears, settling into this posture. Knowing that I'll be here to guide you back out when it's time. Beginning to deepen the breath, preparing for movement. As you walk those hands back into the body, pressing yourself back to all fours, taking any movement you need. Once again, maybe wiggling side to side, swaying the hips. As you're ready, walking those toes together, knees together, sitting hips back, forehead resting on the mat, arms by your sides, palms face up. Allowing yourself to find this comfortable pace of breath in this closed-legged child's pose. As you're here, maybe asking the body what it needs. Perhaps to let go, to be present. Maybe something else completely. Listening in. Beginning to deepen the breath, you can gently rock the head side to side, like saying a slow no. And this movement activates the vagus nerve, which can help your body shift into this state of calm. Let it feel natural, soothing. So you're ready, pressing yourself back up here. And then coming forward onto your forearms and the belly, extending the legs back behind you, finding a sphinx position, shoulders rolled down the back, maybe staying here or pressing into those palms in seal posture, opening up through the front side of the body. If there's any pain or pinching in the low back, coming back out of this posture. And as you're here, unclenching the glutes, letting any tension soften. Focusing on the breath, noticing sensation. As we prepare to transition here, if you'd like, taking some movements by looking over one ear, looking over the opposite ear, maybe bringing one ear to the shoulder and then the other. Taking whatever movements feel good in the upper body, through the neck. And slowly lowering down, resting the left cheek onto the mat, arms by your sides, palms face up, allowing the heels to fall apart. Let the belly soften into the earth. Feel the front of your body, the most vulnerable part of you, feeling fully supported, fully received by the mat beneath you. There's nothing to hold up, letting gravity take over. Allow the breath to be low and wide, spreading through the ribs, into the back body, into the hips, and completely letting that go. Allowing this shape to be an invitation of a quiet return to yourself, to stillness, to safety. And if any thoughts arise, letting them drift like clouds across quiet sky. You're not here to do. You're here to be. And in this being, there is healing. In a moment, transitioning to the right cheek, and see if you can use only the muscles necessary to move to the opposite side of the face. Everything else remains soft. Carefully and slowly transitioning all the way onto your back, finding yourself there. And as you come to your back, bending knees in towards the body, hands to the knees, and creating very small circles in one direction, releasing the low back, and then moving in the opposite direction. And then gently shimmying side to side, bringing hands under the low back for support, allowing legs to come up to the sky. There's no effort here, just softness, surrender. Maybe a light shaking, or trembling through the legs. If that happens, let it be. And feel how the low back can widen, how the hips can melt towards the earth, how the blood flows gently down back to the heart. And notice in this shape, it allows the heart rate to calm down, allows the tired legs to rest, signaling to the body to slow down. Let the breath be gentle and low, and allow the mind to follow the body into stillness. Preparing for movement, gently rocking the head to one side and then the other. And then gently bending the knees in towards the body. As you do that, maybe hugging the legs in one final time here. Breathing deep into the belly. Maybe taking a gentle rock side to side. Releasing the back body. As you're ready, finding your version of shavasana pose. So maybe knees bent, leaning against each other, or maybe legs extended out long, arms by your sides, palms face up. Allowing the eyes to close if they're not already. And taking a deep breath in. Breathe it out slowly through your mouth. And imagine a big, beautiful rainbow. See all of its colors. And now focus on that color red. Imagine the color red growing brighter. Breathe in the color red from the tips of your toes all the way to the top of your head. And release. And now imagine the color orange is glowing brighter. Breathing in that color orange from the tips of your toes all the way to the top of your head. And letting that go. Now imagine the color yellow glowing brighter. Breathing in the color yellow from the tips of the toes all the way to the top of the head. And letting that breath go. Seeing that color green glowing brighter. Breathing in the color green from the tips of the toes to the top of the head. And letting that go. Now see the color blue getting brighter. Breathing in that bright blue light from the tips of the toes all the way to the top of the head. And letting that go. And now imagine a darker indigo color getting bigger and brighter. Breathing in that indigo from the tips of the toes to the top of the head. And letting that go. Now imagine the color purple getting brighter. Breathing in purple from the tips of the toes to the top of the head. And letting that go. And take one last look at that big, bright rainbow. Breathing in all those colors. Feeling those colors from the tips of the toes to the top of the head. Fully immersed in all the colors of the rainbow. Notice how good that feels as you're immersed in all of those colors, feeling them in you and around you. And allowing yourself to stay in this beautiful space that you've created. Allowing those colors to fill you up with energy. Feeling your energy grow. Feeling your energy get brighter. And taking another deep breath, maybe gently rocking the head side to side, Maybe wiggling the fingers and the toes. Maybe rolling the wrists and the ankles. On an inhale, reaching arms up overhead, pointing the toes, reaching to opposite side of the mat, big stretch. And as you exhale, rolling on to that right side, pressing yourself back into a comfortable seated position. As you come to seated, finding stillness for a moment, taking one last deep breath. And as you let that go, feeling yourself on the mat, rooting down through the sits bones, growing tall through the top of the head. And notice how you're feeling in your body. If you'd like, setting an intention for the rest of your day. And sealing in this intention as you inhale, arms reaching overhead. Exhale, palms through heart center. Namaste.